Here. Thanks for organizing this. I really appreciate it. I'm going to sit because I really feel that as a mayor, it's about sitting with you and serving with you. And I want to start by that. The reason I'm running for mayor is because, quite frankly, this is a passion for me in terms of municipal government. It's what I do for a living. I'm trained in this area. I've been a councillor that sat on council with Mr. Atchison. But also, I believe we're at a crossroads right now. I think there's some serious issues, and that is a large reason why I'm here today running for mayor. We're at a crossroads in terms of our financial situation. We've got a record now, 6 years, that's been increased taxes, that's been depleting our rainy fund, that's boring way into the future, and in cost overrun on some pretty big projects. In the meantime, what I'm hearing is what's happening to our neighborhoods. What are we doing at the neighborhood level? What are we talking about in terms of our traffic issues? Basic neighborhood amenities, basic neighborhood services, where are we at today? I want to speak to the fact that there are concerns around the way that our city operates. Sometimes it feels like it's behind a lot of closed doors. Think of issues like the Mendel Art Gallery and the move and us not knowing about it until it's announced in the media quite late in the process. Those are things of concern. And then when I want to speak to the future, that's where I really think we can go, and that's the exciting part for me. And it's called planning for the future. And it's called envisioning for the future the kind of things we want, a future that's sustainable, based not just on economics, but economics, social, and environment, and linking those together and looking at strategies around housing, looking at strategies around eliminating poverty, looking at strategies around creating an innovative city that we can celebrate for another 100 years. Thank you.
Or re-elected, as the case may be, how would your administration work with and support our neighborhoods? And in this case, we'll start.
So we're talking about neighborhood renewal. Thanks for some of your responses, Roger. That's one of the things that I'm hearing about is a lot of people having concerns about what is going on in their neighborhoods. Getting back right into the neighborhoods and seeing what we can do there. Simple things that we need to look at reprioritizing, like fixing our roads, fixing our potholes, making sure there's accessibility within the neighborhood, putting walkable paths in, things like dog parks, people have talked about that and having access to that, community gardening space, having parks that are accessible to them, and then it expands. Where's our local grocery store? Where's affordable housing in my neighborhood? Why are some neighborhoods getting some amenities and not other neighborhoods? How are we going to deal with the bigger issues around what's been done in terms of investments and how is that going to be prioritized back to me as a citizen living in this neighborhood, either as a taxpayer or as a renter? The city has a role to play in these things at the neighborhood level. It's not just about moving things around, and it's not done in an ad hoc manner. We need to get back to looking at those longer visions and prioritizing things out and reinvesting right into those neighborhoods that are here and existing today before we're sprawling out on the corners much more. That doesn't do any good. And then it comes back to when we're in those neighborhoods, we've done some great things. And to the mayor's credit, there's been some great things done while he's been the mayor. And it's been because we have had the voice at the local level. And we can't afford to lose any more of that voice. At the local level, when we get involved in things like local area planning and investing out on how we want to map those areas for any of you that have been in the core, that's where we can make real differences together as people. Again, this is something that we need to be really looking at because the things that I'm hearing on the street is that we are going in a direction that's going away and away and away from the neighborhood instead of coming right back into the neighborhood, which is what cities are there for, which is to govern at that neighborhood level. Thanks. Being a city planner, we're always looking for the collaborative way and the dialogue and the debate in that. So this is a very different format because I think there's all some really interesting ideas here that can fuel in. But what I want to say is when we're talking about finances, finances linked to the social and to the environment, and this is something that I've shared tonight already, you can't just look at it as you get a AAA credit and some of that means we're doing good. And the work that I do with communities, it's about what are we feeling like, what's our well-being like, and what are we feeling in our neighborhoods, in our pocketbooks, and how are we feeling amongst each other? How are our investment going into our neighborhood? And what I'm hearing and what I know is that AAA credit rating works over there, but the well-being in our neighborhood is around things like affordability. making sure that I have a walkable neighborhood, making sure that I have good amenities, and then I'm getting good value for our money. And what I'm hearing from you is we're not getting that right now, and that there's some pretty deep issues out there that we've got to deal with around affordability.
We believe that when we talk about housing, that's the foundation for a good community, and that people need to have a good, clean, safe home to live in. We need to make sure that their children...
Why are you targeting the poor? That's my question. Answer it, please.
Well, I don't think it is. I don't think it is at all. I think that we are...
He just told you what his question is.
Let's see. I'm sorry. I'm trying to answer the question, but if you don't want me to answer, I will.
No, sorry. Please limit your heckling. Please, everyone is here to try and answer your questions fairly. Mr. Atchison is trying to do that, as is everyone else.
Housing is the foundation. And I think for children and that's why it's good for them to have a good, clean, safe home to live in. I believe that we have to have neighborhoods where children can get to school. We have to have schools that they're proud to be able to go to. With better education, they end up with better jobs. Better jobs, in fact, helps to end the cycle of poverty. It doesn't happen over one night. It takes many, many years. We didn't get here overnight either.
Right, okay. You talked about town hall meetings with Americans. I'm a Sutherland resident. We don't see that. The only person we've ever seen come talk to us is Darren Hill, and he got blamed in the media for that. You talked that these master plans were developed, and City Hall has had no money to deal with them. Sutherland's master plan is over 13 years old. The safety of our children are at risk, yet money can be put into river landing and other projects. I understand the importance of some of that, but our neighborhoods need to come first. We're not, it's not all about the core. But that's my thing is why aren't neighborhoods coming before some of these big projects? Why are the safety of our children coming first in these neighborhoods?
LAPs, I said earlier, that before the LAPs were done, local area plans were done, and there was never any money set aside for them. This time, we're putting money aside for local area plans, because for the exact reason that you're talking about, the frustration that people have, saying, you put a plan together, but you didn't have any money for us, why aren't we getting things? Southern, in fact, has had some things that have occurred there already, not everything. I can tell you one thing right now, Central Avenue and some of those locations, they really need some major improvements to them. The parks still need upgrades to them as well. That's on the list that's going to occur in the future. But we just can't do everything at once. You talk about river landing is downtown, high-density housing, which we continue to talk about all the time. The revenues from that over the long term will be exceedingly good for the city of Saskatoon. But in the end, local area plans, that's one of the things we said. We're putting money there now from this point on. That's coming through our land bank that we're doing as well. The profits from selling other lands are being reinvested back into our core.
I have been stopped downtown and by the river on our way home from the Riverdale Skate Park. We have been threatened by the officers that he would snap our boards and throw them in the garbage and we wouldn't get them back. What I don't understand is why rollerbladers and bikers are allowed to ride downtown and by the river, but skateboarders are not. What most Eastside skateboarders want is a skate park like Riverdale Skate Park. That's close to home. Has any thought been given about making this skate?
Commenting on it, I certainly have no details on that at all. And to start talking about allegations, I think is completely unfair unless one hears all sides of the story. As they always say, there's two sides to every story. But I'm firmly convinced that there's usually three sides. When you talk about a skateboard park itself, we are trying to build skateboard parks throughout the city of Saskatoon. Over here, there was a temporary one that was built a few years ago. And it may not be the standards that you want for a skateboard park that they have down at Victoria Park. The fact is that we're trying to build structures and facilities that people can share throughout the city of Saskatoon. The decision was made to make sure that the Victoria Park was going to have the skateboard park there because it was centralized throughout the city for everyone to use. And as we expand River Landing, we believe that the area will become even safer and safer with more housing going into the area. We believe there will be more people there as well. That whole area would be a wonderful site for everyone to be able to enjoy. But we are working on more skateboard parks. As a matter of fact, there's another one being proposed right now. But the funding is the same old story.